Okay, so you have probably seen some of these direction sheets. If you haven't, every single assignment will have a direction sheet on there. And I just want to show you how this can be really useful to you. All right, so step by step here, assignment name and number. So this name and number right here will be what's on the grid. It tells you U0, Unit 0, Box 1B, and the title of it is called the tracking page. So it gives you what the learning intention. What are you supposed to be learning about? I'm learning how to use the tracking page. And then it tells you how you will know if you were successful at learning that information. That's the success criteria. I can identify where the tracking page is, and I can explain how to use the tracking page. If you can do those two things, most likely you have mastered this material. A little bit more detailed directions are following here. So you would see number one, watch the video that shows up how to use the tracking page. Two, change your tracking page right now. Three, take the tracking page, practice assignment, do this alone. Four, check your work using the answer key for page one. And five, bring your page two to your teacher and have him check your answers. So these are the detailed steps of what things you need to do. Some will have some video directions, not every one of them. While you're working, your tracking sheet should look like this. It should either be blue, yellow, or red. Blue says I'm working. Yellow says I have a question, but it's not an immediate must-have question right now. Red is I am absolutely stuck and I need help and I can't move on until I get some help. And hopefully some classmates will see that and get up and help you, especially if they have done this already. It'll tell you who's going to be doing the assessing. Almost always you're going to assess yourself. That'll be using the success criteria or an answer key or something like that, but you might also have a peer assessment or a teacher assessment or any combination. So for instance, this one is going to be a self when you check your answer key and teacher when you bring up page two to me. How is it going to be assessed? Well, in this case, there's going to be a rubric based on the success criteria and it will be attached. You're going to be told roughly how much class time you'll be given for this. A recommended due date. Remember that the due dates are not specifically absolutely must do it this day, but if you're behind a day, then you really need to do some catching up. Okay, you can always be ahead too. Collaboration guidelines. You ever wonder, like, am I allowed to check with a friend on this, or am I allowed to, do this with somebody else? Am I allowed to split up the work? I'm going to give you specific collaboration guidelines. Some are going to be there's no collaboration at all. Others going to be full collaboration. Some it's by role, some it's by section. So just make sure you read over that. Then specifically, how will you turn it in? Different assignments have different things to turn them in. Sometimes you need to take a screenshot. Sometimes you need to turn a physical copy into your teacher. Sometimes it is just mark as done. Or turn in the attached documents. And then when you're done, what do you do with the tracking page? So in this case, it's always going to say change the next assignment box to blue working because that tells you you are going on to that next assignment. But this one says, we'll either say change the box to orange, need a check, as if I'm going to have to check that, or green, done, which means I don't really need to check it, but I will when we get together on our level check. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. And I hope you can see how this will be helpful to you and answer a lot of questions that you might have when you're working on these.